So Lauren, a lot of your work has also been around talking about how to integrate AAC into um, everything, right?
Yes.
But that's a bit intimidating as well for someone who just starts out, or like because it's a parent or a therapist, it's a bit intimidating. So how does one like go about it? How does one start when you say integrate AAC into everything?
Well, what I try to explain to parents is just that this is your child's voice, so it needs to be available at all times. It needs to be expected at all times that they have something to say. It's not going to be something. I also though explain that it's not going to be something that just happens immediately, where all of a sudden they can talk in every single situation. They know enough vocabulary. So starting with things, always making sure that you start with things that are very, very highly motivating for that child and kind of beginning there in your heavy focus. And then, of course, I absolutely pound in as much as possible the need to model whatever system that that child is using. I always say that, the biggest single indicator of success or failure is whether that child sees how they are supposed to communicate. We can't tell them, just ask them a question verbally, but never demonstrate on their system or a similar system. So it's kind of what I always explain is that it's about modeling. It's about making sure that situations are engaging and that the children are, or adults sometimes. Sometimes we end up with folks who have gotten beyond that stage of being a child, but still are not in a situation where they really have a good communication system. But it's that they need to understand that we have expectations of them, that we're not speaking for them, jumping in and prompting. So I don't know that I answered that. That's a really tough question. But it's really finding those really engaging moments and starting there, and making sure that there is also vocabulary that's actually going to be meaningful to that individual. There's a lot of problems with the vocabulary that is being selected is only vocabulary that is targeting what we feel are their wants and needs, which a lot of times does not really have any connection to quality of life for that individual. What we think is important, like bathroom and different foods, while they are important and they need to be part of what is taught, they're not everything, and they are often not what's most motivating for people. Kids want to tell on the kids next to them, tell silly stories, and sometimes those things or complain. Those things are much more motivating and really a place to start, as opposed to making them request something that perhaps they could reach out and get on their own anyway.